There has been plenty of wildlife activity in the Liberty Lake area over the last several months, including this beautiful bull moose that's taken up residence near the inlet. Here are some clips of some of the activity 1.25 miles south of Liberty Lake over the last several months. And coming up, I've got some incredible video and photos from friends of the river otters in Saltese wetlands. As you know from the prior videos, the otters of Liberty Lake and Saltese wetlands go back and forth over the top of Quinamos Ridge. After some of those photos and videos, I'll go ahead and include the prior video on the river otters because many of you have mentioned that you didn't see that last YouTube video. So don't know what's going on with the YouTube algorithm, but I'll go ahead and attach it at the end of this this set of clips. We have a lot of moose up in the hills right now, and interestingly enough, they're predominantly bulls. There's very few cows that I've imaged, and here is a video of some moose on the hillside that Mike Froelich sent to me. And I did finally capture another river otter going past the cameras 800 feet above the lake. However, it was not a very good image, not nearly as good as these still images from my good friend Jim Summers. And then there's this really good video coming up from Keith Harris, so stay tuned for that. As I've mentioned in the past, the most fascinating thing about running the trail camera up on the mountain has been witnessing the river otters commuting back and forth between Saltese wetlands and Liberty Lake. I never thought they would overland that kind of distance, but as it turns out, they can go over 25 miles in a single night. This video here is from the Saltese wetlands, provided by Keith Harris. And they are really an interesting animal. They can be very secretive, but at the same time they can be extremely curious. In Upper Michigan, when I would canoe in some of the rivers up there, I would have them go underneath the canoe and pop up right by the canoe and take a look at me like, "What are you?" I think the river otters at Saltese wetlands, however, are a lot more used to humans. Some really neat video here, so thanks to Keith for sending that along. I'll go ahead and let this video play out here, and I will, as I stated, I'll go ahead and include the prior YouTube video that includes a good synopsis of the travel plan of the otters at the end. And if you'd like to see a map of where these otters go back and forth, that's at about the 6-minute mark. At any rate, it's really cool to have all this wildlife here in the Liberty Lake area. I hope you have a chance to get out there and enjoy the hiking and biking. And that's going to be a wrap for now, but go ahead and enjoy the rest of this otter video and then the rerun. Take care. Well, here's the June Liberty Lake wildlife update. We had a cougar go by the cameras a couple days ago, and I even caught him on my ground-mounted otter camera. I put this on the ground so I could image I get a close-up of the river otters going by. And the biggest surprise of running the trail camera up there on the mountain has been how much activity from river otters overlanding I've been able to get. So I mounted the camera at the ground, and I did finally get a close-up of a couple of the pups going by. And it's coming up here pretty quick. There they go. hoping to get them coming down the hill as well, since they use this route so often. So, what is the travel plan of the otters? My cameras are located at this location here, which is about 800 feet above the surface of Liberty Lake. For some scale, it's about a mile from the marshlands of Liberty Lake to the cameras, and from my cameras to the inlet is about 2.5 miles. The top of Quinamos Ridge is about 1,200 feet above the lake, so the otters apparently are climbing from somewhere in this area up past the cameras where I imaged them, and then they go over the top of Quinamos Ridge. So that's a climb well over 1,000 feet from the lake. And then they go down into the Saltese wetlands area. There is a pond here at Quinamos Creek where otters have been seen. And there's a bunch of small potholes in the wetlands there. And there's also this large pond that's by the visitor center where river otters have also been seen. So the travel that the otters do is apparently in this big loop between Liberty Lake over Quinamos Ridge to this series of ponds. Now, I don't know how many otters there are, but there must be quite a few since I've imaged them now, I think 15 or 16 times going past my camera. And they might have other routes as well. The ground-mounted camera also captured this year-old bear cub going by. He's quite small. And there are a lot of moose in the area where the cameras are located. And you get a good view of some of their hooves and legs because they're so tall. Several of the animals that went by had to take a sniff at the camera, including the moose and a deer coming up. I think it's something new in their environment, so they're kind of curious what it is and where it came from. This pygmy owl is smaller than a robin, and he's been hanging out around the cameras for a couple months now. I think he's eating a lot of the field mice that are in the area. And the porcupines have also been going by. There's been a lot of activity around the cameras in the last month. And I think at this point I'll stop the narration and you can just listen to some of the sounds of nature around the cameras. Thanks for watching.